Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now if there's any one brand whose products show up on my channel the most, it's definitely Helikon-Tex. Whether I'm covering their products in a feature review or I'm just wearing them because they're awesome, Helikon-Tex show up quite often. Now, not only do I trust and enjoy their products, but I try to catch up with the people at Helikon-Tex whenever I can. So whether it's going to see them at the trade shows or keeping in touch with them on social media, the Helikon-Tex brand is one that I've come to greatly enjoy. Again, not just the products, but the people that work there. And so one thing you might not know about Helikon-Tex, not only do they make awesome outerwear, gear, backpacks, and all of that, but they make cleaning supplies and maintenance supplies for your firearms. And on top of that, a number of different targets that you can use while at the range. So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna take a look at some of this in good practical detail as I get to work on my firearms, keep them clean, but I'm also gonna get out for some range time and test out these targets. But with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you. And if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Now before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Helikon-Tex who did provide these products for review. So now it's time to get down to cleaning these two handguns. So here my SIG P365XL. This is my buddy's SIG P320. I've been kind of using these for a little while now, getting into a comparison, but we're going to use some products from Helikon-Tex. So here the pistol cleaning kit. This is good for a 38 or 9mm. A little gun cleaning wipe here. So here you can see just a sample pack. And some of the Pro Grease. So these products here are not all that Helikon-Tex tried to send to me. Unfortunately, they didn't all quite make it. These products were sent directly from their Polish warehouse and they kind of got confiscated along the way. So these are the products that were able to make it through customs. And so unfortunately, I don't have the full kit here, but Helikon-Tex does have a full suite of cleaning products. At this particular time, it seems as though they're mostly in their European market, so out of Poland. But at the same time, I do have some of the products here. So with that, I'm going to get into a full cleaning of both of these handguns, and we'll see how these perform. And so naturally, with that said, I will need to supplement with other cleaning products. So I will be using some other breakthrough clean products for this. All right, so at this point, my barrel and my spring have been sitting here for a little bit, just with some of the solvent working at the foulings to try to loosen it up. So let's take a quick look at this kit and see what's in here. Now, this is the CR-S38-CP-01. I'm not exactly sure what we're gonna get in here, but let's take a quick look. So, okay, excellent. This is good news. So first off, we definitely need the rod. So a nice T-handle rod. This feels very nice at a very first impression. Beautiful. This is on bearings, so this does rotate. So as you're working this down the rifling, it will spin just enough as to not be overly abrasive. Now, a couple things that I'm seeing that I greatly like. First thing is it does have a nylon brush, which is awesome, and a brass brush. I personally try to avoid the brass. I'm a very much use the least aggressive method first type of believer. So I will probably just simply use this. I do not shoot nearly enough to really worry. And then on top of that, which is kind of cool, you could kind of touch this up in the end if you want, and I'll probably do that. So very nice. And then this here is, for some reason, this comes with a hex key, and I'm not sure why. And it's maybe because you can reuse this T-handle or possibly adjust this a little bit, but I'm gonna leave that alone. This feels pretty good at this particular time. And one thing that this doesn't have is a patch holder, which is too bad, but I do have this from another kit. And well, just lo and behold, it is the same exact threads. So that to me is a little bit of a downfall. I feel as though a pistol cleaning kit should at least have the ability to have a patch holder. So that to me is almost like a minimum requirement, and the fact that it's not in here is a little bit of a letdown. But nonetheless, here we go. That's gonna work just fine. So no problem there. And just starting to get a little bit more of the cleaner and solvent worked through the barrel. Very gentle. I like the feel of this bore rod. It is definitely a nice feel, good and sturdy, and seems to be doing a nice job. So good construction overall, just missing a bit of a critical piece. Now running the nylon brush. Well, here, I would say a little tight, but perfect. Like, that's not a bad deal. Once I get to the point where I'm really running this down the barrel to clean it, I do try to only run in one single direction here. So you can see it takes a little bit longer, but just being disciplined enough to get this in my hands and really push it from the rear of the barrel towards the front. Careful not to grab onto the rod at all. We're gonna let that do the little bit of a spin and spiral with the rifling. And just a couple more passes here, maybe 4 passes. I got a number of rounds through here and I haven't cleaned it in a little bit, so just gonna try to do my best, really get this cleaned up nice. And we'll do one more pass here. The threads on all of this seem nice. They're not really too fine, they're not too coarse, just about right. And there we go. So at this point, that should about loosen everything up. I'm basically just going to get a little bit more CLP through here, and then a final run with the patches, and the barrel should be about done. Quick look down the barrel. This looks to be just about perfect at this point. I mean, very, very good, nice and clean. But the last thing I do want to do, I'm just going to run this through as the literal final pass here. So getting this little swab, just gonna get that threaded on, and again working from the rear towards the front. One pass through, a little bit tight, not bad, and that's pretty good. So at this point, I'm gonna call the barrel complete. Nice and clean, a little bit sort of polished off there, and in very good shape. So I'm just gonna let the cleaner sort of sit on here and just continue to keep the outside lubricated until I'm done, and then I'll just wipe off the excess. Now as I go to reassemble the 365 XL, I do want to use some lubricant in a couple of key areas, and more specifically, this is some grease. Now I do put a little bit of grease in a couple of strategic locations, just where there's heavy wear areas, like for example on the barrel as you look, and it's going to be a little bit subtle, but up in this area there's generally some wear, and wow, I just got way too much. So just going to be a little bit more careful than that. You can see it does have a bit of a precise applicator, but I mean, I literally just squeezed on the bottom there and that came out pretty quick. So I am actually going to apply this just with a little bit of a cotton swab as to not over apply. I mean, too much grease is not a good thing. So just a couple little daubs. I have a couple of key areas where I do try to get just a little bit of grease on here, and in a couple of these key wear areas. So as you can see down here, that's another one of those spots, and then right in here. So just enough. Now I'm gonna thin that out a bit and daub a lot away, but just enough that you can see some of these key areas. That is literally way more than enough. So I'm just gonna thin this out and spread it out a little bit, and that will be good. Now, all in all, granted, these were just a very small sample size of some of the vast lineup that Helikon-Tex has, not just in their gear and backpacks, but their firearms specific cleaning and target supplies. There is a whole bunch on their website. Now, I'll go back and say some of which we can in the United States at this point get our hands on. Some of it we're going to have to kind of look around. Some of it does seem to be more tailored towards their European market. So I did struggle just a little bit, as I had mentioned. I was supposed to have a full suite of cleaning supplies to demonstrate to you, but unfortunately some of them just got confiscated and turned around and sent right back to Poland. Some of them made it through here to the United States. So ultimately, very, very good. I'm happy with all of this. I love the targets. These targets are awesome. This one more specific for pistol, but of course I did use it with the rifle as well. So very, very good. Now, all in all, Helikon-Tex does have a number of different targets. They have everything from paper targets, both for pistol and for rifle. They have different steel targets and the ability to leverage all kinds of equipment while at the range. So here, getting in some good practical use, you can see I have used these targets both for pistol and for rifle. I like these very much. They have a number of different zones, which works out extremely well. So everything from the silhouette, designated headshots, all the way down through the midsection and the center mass shots, a number of different items around the target so that you can leverage different areas and make up different little games. So you can see in this case, using these a few different ways, really trying to speed up my shots, take advantage of these targets, and leverage the different zones and areas on the targets themselves. So whether or not you're aiming for small little boxes, different corners of the targets, or even the numbers across the bottom, everything up through the silhouette, these targets do work extremely well. They're nice and large, they're very durable, they're a good thick stock, and even at that, after all the use, well, getting them back here, you can see just very, very nice. This stock is thick, they staple well, they're not cheap and flimsy. I can fold them, I can bring them with me. I mean, these are huge targets. So getting them stapled up on the board, they're good, they're durable, they just feel really nice. They come in large packs. I think I got a pack of 100. And then on the bottom here, you can see this does actually have writing. So when you look at this, again, these are specifically pistol targets here, but this has a pistol warm-up exercise. And you can do all sorts of different round counts, different tasks. They're looking to have you time these. It's really cool. So when you look close all the way through the details, I mean, all the way through all the different tasks that you can do, I would blow through ammo super fast with this. So I'll probably not be shooting 9mm on these tasks anytime soon. I think I need to get myself a 22 pistol for this, at least to get the practice down and the motions, and then maybe graduate to a larger caliber at some point just for the sight picture and acquisition. But very, very cool. And so again, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Helikon-Tex for providing these for review. And for the rest of you, if you like this content, do me a favor, take a look at my Outer Limitless channel, which is more of my primary gear. That is my primary channel focused on the hiking, camping, and backpacking excursions. It includes all the gear that goes with it, so everything from backpacks, flashlights, sleep systems, shelter systems, knives, axes, you name it. That's my Outer Limitless YouTube channel. So all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.